Today we're going to have a look at this pen. It came in this box, and this is one of the very rare occasions where I decided to re-record a review because I wasn't quite happy with how the first one turned out, and I discovered some additional functionality that we need to discuss. So today we're going to be talking about this, and you say, it's a Lamy Safari. No, it's not just a Lamy Safari. This is a special Lamy, the Lamy Encode, and this was sent to me by Joost Appelboom of Appelboom Pennen. Thank you very much. Remember that you can get a 10% discount there. Go to my website and click the banner for that. We need to talk about this pen, and it is a fascinating pen because this is a pen that digitizes your writing through an app that you can download for your phone. And that app can actually do a lot of different things. So I thought it would be fun to experiment a bit with that and have some fun. Let's get to it. Okay, so this set comes in a large box. It's quite a nice box, I think. And then in there is a charging cable, which is just a USB cable. So that's easy to use. Pen, when I got it, I charged it. It didn't take very long. I didn't note exactly how long it took, but it wasn't very long. Comes with a notebook, which is quite nice. Comes with a little manual, and then of course there is the actual pen. I will quickly go over the pen, but it is a Lamy Safari style pen, so it looks like a Lamy Safari. It has a special explosion finial, which I like a lot. It's probably just a star, but I'm going to go with explosion. It's not the plus or the circle or the minus for all the different writing modes that there are. This is a whole new writing mode, so I think it's very cool they continued their tradition of having its own finial for that. It has the standard Lamy Safari clip. As you can see, at this point it looks a lot like a Lamy Safari. There is a little LED there, which is multicolored, which is quite cute. And there is an on switch at the back there. It's not a fountain pen, right? That would be really cool if one day they could do this with a fountain pen, but for now you get the Rollerball, which also works very nicely. I found it to be pretty smooth. Anything else I should say? Well, I mean, it's a Safari, right? So you have the Safari grip, you have this interesting new nose cone, which does look quite interesting. And you have the refill, which comes out very easily. So this is really easy to replace and change out. This doesn't open. So unlike that, because it's my first reflex to try and open this, it doesn't open. Okay. Now you do say that the LED has turned on. I don't know how well the camera picks this up, but it's blue. Okay. And if you turn it off by holding the button, it changes color a couple times and it's off. Okay, so that's the pen. Notebook. The notebook is 145 by 210 millimeters. I'm just reading the stats I wrote down. It has 192 pages, 80 grams per square meter. It has 8 terrible pages, 2 bookmarks. It has a pocket, and it does have a table of contents that you can use. It also has a pen loop, which is quite nice. I am going to zoom out a little bit to show you. It's a dot grid, and I could zoom in, but you're not going to be able to see it. But if you really get very close to this, you will see that there are tiny dots. So I'm assuming that that is a grid on the paper that the pen and the app use for digitizing your writing, knowing where you are on the page. Fun fact, if you start to write on a new page, then the app will also move on to another page, which I think is pretty cute. So in other words, there is quite a lot going on, quite a lot of things you can do in the app. So I thought what we would do today, and I'm just preparing that here, I'll show you how the whole system works. So I take out my phone, I open up the app. It needs to connect to a pen, which has to be on, which it is. Okay. And then let's see what we can do. I'm going to make a new page. Sure, new notebook, whatever. Lamy digital paper, yeah, sounds good. And I'm going to try to write, and we'll see what happens. See that there? Setting this up was really easy, so if you are a little afraid of having to fiddle, the pen takes Bluetooth and it requires a location to be activated on your phone. But it was not difficult at all. I downloaded the app, I turned on the pen, and everything was set. I didn't have to fiddle with codes or anything, which does raise some issues about security maybe and other people's writing, but in any case, this is what we have. Now, as you can see, my writing here digitizes immediately there, right? And there are different things I can do. For example, I could say, well, that's a little intense with the orange, and that wide a line. Now it's gray. I don't know if you can even see that. Let me change to green. But now it is a much thinner line. So I can set the color. I can also set the line width, going from very thick to very thin. Obviously nothing changes on the page because that's just this rollerball, excuse me, but things will change in the digital aspect of this. Okay, I can replay my handwriting, which is kind of cute for Instagram videos and such, right? I can change the speed of that if I want to. I can also transcribe. And as you can see, I've been using cursive here, which is probably not the best way to do this. But now I get the quick brown fern, so the lazy, etc. But that was cursive. And I don't think that's that bad. So if we now get rid of all that, I don't know if it can do this. I'm using block print now. Okay. Hello, this is B.R.E. Brown. And now I go back to transcribe. I have a sad face. It's not perfect, but I'm also doing this fairly quickly, right? And I'm sure that if I were to use some more normal words, let me also change the color, maybe that helps. And I have to transcribe that. Let's see what that does to my grocery list. I need to buy carrots and potatoes. Not bad, even in capitals. So, in other words, this app can do a lot of things, right? You can change your writing as you see fit as to the color. You have a lot of colors to choose from, right? I'm not going to do them all, don't worry. Etc. Right? I have a red and a yellow there. So it does all these things. And I will say initially I didn't know, I hadn't found that replay feature and I hadn't found that transcription feature. But I will say I do think that is pretty cool. And it does really add to the functionality of the pen in my mind. So you get the notebook. The whole set is €123.14. That is without VAT from Appelboom. That is, excuse me, don't forget that you get a 10% discount through my website. Click on the banner on the website. And the notebooks, because you will need these notebooks. This pen does not write on normal paper. You need that little tiny grid, otherwise it doesn't work. It includes other dot pad, like it doesn't matter. It needs this paper. I have experimented. Those notebooks are 1645 euros, and that's also without VAT. So I think, relatively speaking, it's not particularly expensive as a set for what you get. It's a lot of functionality. And I can see artists using this, but I can also see people in business meetings who just want to digitize what they're writing. It works pretty well. It's not perfect. You are doing some sort of optic character recognition from handwriting, but it's fairly close. And surely it would save you a lot of time to just edit that typed text a little bit, then type something from scratch based on handwritten notes, I think. So from that perspective, I think it's an interesting set. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. What do I like, what do I not like about the Lamy Engage? Well, I think that the whole set has quite a lot of things going for it. For example, I think it is relatively affordable for what it is. I know that the price of about 125 euros, that's not nothing, but on the other hand, you do get a rechargeable pen and in that set a notebook. Those notebooks themselves, I think, are pretty affordable too, around 16 euros, that's without VAT. But still, that's not that much, I think, if you consider that when other German brands do this, the notebooks are 80 plus euros and the pen would be 5 times as expensive as this. I really don't think it's that bad for what you get. And that, I think, is really cool. The app has a lot of functionality, more than I initially thought. Again, that was one of the reasons for me to re-record this review, because I did want to show off everything. I think that's in itself a good selling point. It is a relatively affordable set for what it is, right? I mean, for what it is. So I think that's very nice. It's also nice that it's rechargeable, so this is not something you have to purchase batteries for or something. It comes with a charging cable. That makes things very easy and convenient, I think. I do think that the features on in the app and such are very useful. Digitizing text, especially if you can do what seems to be fairly accurate optical character recognition, so that you can really digitize your writing and say copy it into an email or something like that. I do think that can be quite useful in certain cases. Or think of taking like minutes, notes for a meeting, which you can then send out email, etc. I do think that is very useful and that is very helpful. So I think all those features are very good, are very useful, and do make this product worth that price. My initial impression of the pen as I got it and was playing with it was, I have the feeling this solves a problem that, in all honesty, I never had. But having said that, having experimented more with it, having seen the pretty impressive range of features that are on this pen, I've changed my opinion a bit, and I do see the point of why people would use this beyond artists who may just want to digitize artwork. But in an office setting, I think this can actually be a very useful product. So there you have it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.